Perry was feeling pretty good about himself as he walked home from school. That morning had been the big debate between his boys' school and the nearby girls' school. The topic had been women's liberation, and he had done a real job on his opponent. It wasn't a tough subject for Perry to debate. Girls should stay at home and do girls' stuff, and that was all there was to it. For that matter, it wasn't hard to beat a girl in anything anyway. He grinned as he thought about some of the lines he had thrown out during the debate. Girls grow up playing sis's games with dolls and pretending to be mommies. And that's all they're good for. They play dress up all day long, trying on frilly clothes that are of no use except to make them look like dolls themselves anyway. And if they're not doing that, they want to shop for new clothes all day long. Put a girl in a real job and all they do is worry if their stockings have a run in them, or if their makeup is on straight. All they want to do is practice how to look pretty so they can trap a man someday into supporting them, and they can stay home and play dolls with real kids. That last line really got to the girls in the audience. Boy, did they boo and hiss. As he rounded the corner and started up his street, he suddenly came face to face with his adversary that day. Janet seemed to be upset and spoke first. "Oh Perry, I'm so glad to see you. I've locked myself out of my house and can't get in," she whimpered girlishly. "Do you think you can help me, please?" To Perry, this was just another example of how stupid girls were. Always getting into trouble and needing a guy to come to the rescue. He played his chivalrous role to the hilt. "Sure, what do you want me to do?" "There's a ladder in the garage, you can use it to get into my bedroom window." "It's too heavy for me to lift." Perry could not help rubbing it in as he hefted the ladder up to her window. "What happened to your woman's lib, huh? I thought girls could do anything guys could." "It's just like I said this afternoon, a girl is no match for a guy." As he climbed the ladder and reached the slightly opened window, Janet smiled wickedly behind his back and replied, "Oh, I don't know about that." Perry swung his leg through the window and disappeared from view. 2 hours later, Perry was standing before a mirror, tears forming in the corners of his 15-year-old eyes. He was dressed like a girl and was surrounded by a giggling Janet and 3 of her classmates. It had all happened like this. Once in her room, he was immediately jumped by Janet's friends who had been waiting for him. Despite his best efforts, he was instantly overcome. As the girls finished tying his arms and legs, Janet appeared at the door with a big pair of scissors. "Well, Perry dear, it seems that girls can be a match for boys, don't you think?" she sneered. "What's going on here?" Perry shouted. "Let me up now or I'll..." "You'll what, sweetie?" Catherine laughed. "You think you're so smart, and boys are so much better than girls. Well, we think you're wrong, and you're about to find out just how wrong you are. You think you know so much about what it's like to be a girl? Well, you're going to find out just what it's like to be a little girly sissy, and there's nothing your big macho ego can do to stop us." Perry started to scream and shout, but his ranting only resulted in a gagging. He was lifted to his feet, while the girls teasingly covered him body with hair. "We're going to get rid of all that nasty hair, Perry, so that you'll be smooth all over, just like a girl," Katie giggled. The girls untied his bonds and pushed him into the shower. When he was finished, his body was indeed rid of hair, including his crotch. The girls dried him off and liberally dusted his now hairless form with sweet-smelling powder. His bonds and gag were now unnecessary. The girls knew they had him, that there was nowhere he could go in his condition and without any male clothes. He knew it too. Perry allowed the girls to lead him back to Janet's room. His mind frantically searched for a way out of this embarrassment, but he drew a blank. He froze in his tracks when he saw the clothes laid out for him on the bed. Sally picked up a pair of pink rumba panties, dripping with row upon row of lace ruffles and bows. "Would you like to put on your little panties now, sweetheart?" she inquired, her voice tinged with sarcasm. "No, please no, don't make me wear them, don't," he whined. "Oh yes, you will wear them," Janet added with a wide smile, "unless you want us to make you walk out through the front door like that," she threatened. "You think girls are second-class citizens. Well, it's about time you found out what it's like to be one. And by the time we're through with you, you will be one, she lectured. The panties were slowly pulled up his legs. Oh look girls, Catherine cried. Perry likes his sissy little panties. Perry was shamed beyond belief as he stood there before the four laughing girls. A pink vest, matching his panties, was pulled over his head, and as he lowered his arms a bright flash blinded his eyes. Katie smiled broadly from behind her Polaroid camera. She waved the slowly developing print before his face and teased, "Now if you don't behave like a proper young lady we just may have to show this at school, little petty." The girls crowded around as the print developed and laughed uproariously at the incriminating photo, with the clearly evident bulge at the front of Perry's panties. "She looks too cute to be a boy anymore," said Janet. "Let's call her something really sweet and feminine. How about Prissy?" Another round of laughter and giggles filled the room as they unanimously agreed that Prissy was a highly appropriate name. The girls proceeded to dress the trapped boy, giggling and teasing him further with each article of girlish clothing, and taking more pictures along the way. "This is your pretty petticoat, Prissy darling. See how stiff the taffeta layers are? They'll make your darling dress stand up beautifully. And isn't the lace trim just the sweetest?" they mocked. Pink anklets and black Mary Janes were placed upon his feet and then the girls readied the dress. "Now Prissy darling, I know you must be very excited about wearing such a lovely little sissy dress as this one. I want you to tell us how much you want to wear it and thank all of us for helping you be such a pretty little girl," Janet teased. Perry balked. He hadn't said a word during the entire ordeal, and couldn't find it in himself to betray his masculinity. "All right then, I guess you need a further lesson in being a good girl," Janet responded. The girls marched the sissified boy over to the vanity bench and sat him down. Catherine and Sally each took one of his hands and began filing his nails, and then coated them with bright pink polish. "You see, Prissy dear, I wasn't going to paint your nails, but since you still don't feel girlish enough you left me no choice," Janet tittered as the polish dried. "I don't plan to pierce your ears or give you a perm either, but if you don't learn your lessons soon I may just have to do that too," she threatened.